Streaming cyberspace into your place, sanctioned by the Red Light Racing League. From Caffeine and Octane Lanier Raceway, it's the Virtual Gift Network's live as it happens round 6 coverage of the Skitter Creek SK Modified Series. It's season 14. Well, with the nation's 249th birthday now behind us, we turn our attention to the fireworks that is this season. 5 races, 5 different winners, one of those being two-time and defending champion Eric Stout. Stout earned his first and only win last time out at Kern, and the victory moved him into the familiar role of point leader. Stout is hungry for a third title, but you won't have to look too far down the standings for another driver who knows the flavor of a championship. For Season 10's Jeff Aho is salivating in third. Swimming in the saliva of Stout and Aho is top rookie Ethan Mountain Troutman, who sits in second, a dozen markers back of Trout and 4 above Aho. Joining Stout and Troutman as Season 14 winners are veteran Chad Alcaraz and rookies Bill Benedict and Eric Stout's little brother Patrick. Will Lanier dish up a 6th different winner, or is the table set for our first repeat victor? To find out, pull the lever on the lazy boy and settle in for the excitement of the simulated short track racing that's about to stream your way. From the state, Gladys Knight left on the midnight train too. A warm hello and welcome on this Thursday night, July 10th, 2025. The institution, J.R. Shepard, joins yours truly, Bill Soupson. Hi, from the VGN broadcast booth to bring our words eye view. As always, replay Ryan Seneca, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders, JR. Sadly, as my oval racing career was slow to rise out of the rookie status, I've traveled many a mile circling Lanier in a legend car. But tonight, the boys are in the SK Modified.
Yeah, absolutely, Soup. And the night's going to be tough for these drivers. Lanier is a track, has long sweeping corners, short straights. That means these drivers are going to be turning left a lot, more than anything tonight. That alone, that can be fatiguing to the driver, but this place is also mentally exhausting because while you're constantly turning left, you will be nose to tail with your competitors out there. One small mistake could mean contact from the car behind and could end your night. But overall, these modifieds, they're extremely fun to drive around here. They make a lot of grip, and there will be a lot of on throttle time, which means it will be hard to pass tonight. So I think track position will be a big topic. Soup, if you want a shot to win, I feel like you're going to have to start near the front in this one.
Qualifying, oh so important, probably more so than normal here at Lanier. Let's take a quick look at the rules. You know, this rules allow for drivers to drop their single worst results, so the graphics reflect the driver's best 4 out of 5 results. Now, because always there, Fred Leclerc was not there for round 3. He could not drop his 21st place finish last time out at Kern. That means he fell from the top spot down into 4th. That made room for Eric Stout to assume the lead. Teapot is coming off a win at Kern. Rookie Ethan, the Mountain Troutman, is next. The rookie has a win at Oxford. In his best points position since VGN has started to cover this series, it is the Season 10 champion, Jeff Aho, poised in position to pick up a 2nd crown. A 5th last time out is Rob Higgins' best result for Season 14. Chad Alcaraz is one of the 5 drivers with a win this season. He got his at Martinsville. It's been either fresh or wilted for rookie Lewis Wildflowers. Josh Buckley has a pair of top 5s, but 3 races of 13th or worse. 9th and 10th go to rookies. Bill Benedict and Patrick Stout both have wins this season. There's your top 10. Glad you are with us here tonight. Good night to go sim racing. Good night to watch some sim racing. And we look down there. Pleasant night here. We've got a full crowd. 20 races on the docket for Season 14. Only 18 venues. There are a couple twin events. All right, with that said, we're just about ready to go to the grid, and we'll give you that when they come up. And you can see the drivers starting to take their shots out there.
All right, we're going to go ahead and read the grid for tonight's race. That is presented by racedayct.com. If you don't know about them, go check them out on the web. Rolling off, getting the pole for tonight in first position will be Eric Stout. Alongside him, his brother, Patrick Stout. Starting in third, Josh Buckley in that 13 car. Jeff Aho will roll off in fourth place. Row 3 inside, we've got Ethan Troutman. On the outside, Fred Leclerc. Back in row 4 inside, we got Bradley Steffen. Outside, Lewis Flowers in that 03 machine. Rolling off in 9th place, Rex Hoyle. He's somebody that can get around this track for sure. In 10th place, we got Bill Benedict. Rolling off row 6, Brian Bianchi. In 11th and 12th place is Mike Tasharu. Rolling off in 13th place, we got Rob Higgins in the 40 car. 14th place will be Kevin Alicia tonight. Row 8 consists of Devin Visnaw and Brian Neff on the outside in 16th. Rolling off in 17th place, Ken Allen. Alongside him, his kid, Luke Logan Allen. So that'll be a good combination to see at the start here. In 19th place, we'll roll off Brandon Feeney. 20th place, Alan Wanamaker. And rounding out the field for tonight's grid will be Bob Higgins in that 43 machine.
Thank you, JR. Let's see. You got a copy there, everybody? Can you hear me?
We got you.
All right. I was away there for a little bit. Turned it over to my partner to call the whole grid. 21 drivers here tonight. That's a nice, healthy field considering we are in the dog days of summer. Well, a pair of brothers sit up front. The older sibling on the inside, the younger sibling on the outside. We know a little bit about them. It's well known that Patrick is the more handsome of the two Stout brothers and also kept a cleaner room as a child. Both the Stouts trying to heat up their tires. Pace car pulls in. You know what to do. Gather up the chickens, take cover, gather the cows, because the horses are out of the barn. And it is Stout who leads Stout down into the first corner, but working on the inside. Patrick's going to struggle to hang on to second position. It's Granny Hips, Josh Buckley. In a good spot, he's going to secure second position. The first side-by-side battle's a little farther back. That's the 26 car of Ethan Mountain Troutman on the inside with the 21 of Jeff Aho on the outside. They continue to race side-by-side. Let's see if the outside line prevails or if it's going to go to the inside.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting tonight on that matter because the inside line on cooler tires usually works the best, but as we get some laps on these tires and that heat builds up, the outside line can hold its own and even make passes. But right now, Aho is struggling just a little bit with those cooler tires.
Aho says, I'm a former champ. Let me in, guys. Fred Leclerc says, not on my watch. And now here comes the 54 of Rex Hoyle. Hoyle's a veteran. He knows how to read the rule book, and he's going to allow the veteran in there. Aho finally tucks into position in 7th spot.
Yeah, and that's what you're trying to see right now. All these drivers, they're trying to get single file. They want to turn some laps. They don't want to abuse their equipment too much too early. So we do see a lot of single file racing out here, but that is going to be treacherous for the leaders as well. We got 21 cars here tonight. If everybody gets single file, it will not take many laps before we see the leader approach the back of this pack.
Let's go to about 5th or 6th position. We got Kid Lemon Lime, Luke Logan Allen. He's a lap down. He's ran into some trouble early. He's got a nice inside line. He's letting the whole train roll around the top side.
And I think Soupy's got some type of an issue because he is rolling down on the bottom. Maybe he's got back going, but he looks like he's just off pace. So something going on with his side of things.
I started next to his dad. Blame it on Papa. Now, Patrick Stout was able to move up into 2nd position. Troutman is behind him in 3rd. You know, JR, a driver that has been racing under the radar is racing in 4th right now, Bradley Steffen. We saw him race very competitive last season, finishing 2nd more times than he'd like to admit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, he even had a win last season. So he knows how to get the job done. He has speed in these SK Modifieds. I think there's just a lot of bad situational things that took place that kind of put him in a rocky start to this season. But This is a long season. You can have bad races and you can come back from it. And right now, Bradley's showing that he's continuing to have that speed. He's inside the top 5. He's wanting a clean night right now, but right now he's in a good spot. If a caution comes out, he's in that inside line.
Well, let me correct myself, as I said that Patrick Stout was in second. Actually, it's Josh Buckley who is sandwiched between a pair of Stouts. Big brother up in front with Patrick now in third. Josh Buckley having a good run in second. If you're looking for a big mover, nobody really up more than a couple positions. Up 3 spots is Papa Kenny Allen. Of course, he started right alongside of his son, who ran into early trouble. Kenny up 3.
Yeah, and he's trying to continue to move forward. He was working on Devin there in the 23 car, unable to get it done. So I talked about it a little bit earlier. We're 17 laps in. This is kind of the, oh, and a caution's out on the Speedway. I believe we've got Brian in the 14 car that is going around.
We'll see if we can dial it up. Yeah, I think he got a little help. Maybe was it the, Lewis Wildflowers may have had a little disagreement about where the racing line was.
Yeah, and Soup, this is a common thing when it comes to Lanier. So you do get a little bit comfortable when you've got a slight gap to the car behind you. You want to start running that higher arc in line where you turn in a little bit late so you can get a better, straighter exit. Unfortunately, if a car's close enough behind you, they can fill that spot, and that's kind of what we had. We had 2 cars just going for the same spot right there, and that's a common type of contact.
Let's see if we can send our director on the hunt. Is Josh Buckley available for an interview? I hate to do it to him because he's like a series organizer. Sometimes he's busy. Josh, is Soup up in the book? Do you have time to talk to me, or are you busy? Yeah, sometimes those series organizers are shuffling guys around. He's sitting in second right now. It's got to be an interesting situation to have nestled in between a pair of Stouts.
Yeah, and it will be interesting on this restart because Buckley will be on the outside line. I do anticipate that Eric's going to definitely take the inside, and indeed he is as they grid up here. So Buckley's going to be on the outside. We're close to that turning point where you can make the outside line really work. You can pin that driver down. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to hold that position or if he falls back a little bit like we saw some of the others starting on the outside at the beginning.
Driver to keep an eye on is the 49 of Ken Allen. He's our big mover, up 4 spots. Spots are hard to obtain, so if you figure he's got something going on. All right, we go green now. Here we go, working lap number 22. It's Stout, followed by Stout. Pinned on the outside is Joshua Buckley. There's room for Buckley to tuck in between the younger Stout. Stout now drives it up. There is no room now. Also stuck on the outside, that's the rookie Ethan Troutman. Troutman and Buckley on the top.
Yeah, and you can see the inside line, they're having a much harder time this time. Buckley's able to get down in second place, secure that spot, but the inside line is having a much harder time because they're having to keep their car pinned down. They don't have the grip that they had at the beginning of the race. That's in return slowing them down through the center of the corner and allowing those outside cars to be able to make some passes.
We're right on board with the younger Stout right now. You can see a side-by-side battle, and it's a good battle. This involves Jeff Aho and the 71 of Fred Leclerc. Leclerc actually chose to go to the top. I think he thought it might work. He's having trouble getting around. JR, if you're out there a long time, is one line hurting the tires more than another?
You know, I think ultimately you don't want to be stuck on the outside lane, and a lot of that's because the outside's going to continue to rubber up. You're starting to see some marbles form on that top side. If you start to get your right side right on that edge, your car will push, and that abuses the tire. So I don't think you want to be on that outside more than 5 or 6 laps. And we see Fred Leclerc, he's getting back down to the inside. But you can make passes out there, and the big time you can really make those passes, Fred saw the opportunity when guys start getting stacked up on that inside line. They slow down even more. You can jump to the outside and make some moves.
Just didn't work for him, so he was able to find his way back to the inside, right in the fire of our first 2-car battle. Lewis Wildflowers on the inside, the 33 of Mike Teshero on the outside. And a good run from the 33. He's going to be able to come down, close the door. I'll spot for you, baby. Clear. As that said, Flowers will have to settle for what will be now 10th spot.
And I see some of these drivers we've watched on the screen, they get to the inside, they're not able to make the pass. They fall back. We see some contact there with Kevin Alicia, and he's going to go around in turn 1 and 2 here. We're still
Yellow
green.
does not come out. He didn't go all the way around. He's got it parked. He's backs up a little bit, and he gets it going. We stay green. Leaders go by.
Yeah, and ultimately he did a nice job of rejoining there, not being disrespectful to the leaders. He kept it down on the inside. It's the same for everybody. But these guys that are up front, they're trying to work around him, and there is the potential where some of these guys could get hung out on that outside, slowed down enough that one of the other competitors gets to the inside and past them.
Yeah, a little different situation for Alicia. There's one thing to come up on back markers, but Alicia had pace, so he might be able to hang out there. There is a lucky dog, so he's in that position right now. I tell you, the guy we got to watch, Ken Allen in the 54. He keeps coming. I'm sorry, in the 49. He keeps working. He's now behind Lewis Wildflowers. He is up, count them, Soup, 6 spots. A yellow.
Yeah, we got Bianchi around once again. We'll see Brian Neff involved in this one too, but not sure how that one got started. We'll get a replay here and see exactly what happened. So, yeah, I think Neff may have gotten into the back slightly coming into turn 3 and 4. And then Brian Bianchi looks like he just hit the wall on the front stretch a little bit. That's another common thing in these SKs. You can't really tell where your right side is, and it slowed him down enough that Neff was able to get back to his inside. And ultimately, once again, Soup, I think we'd had 2 drivers just arguing over the same position. Everybody wants to get down to that inside line to keep their equipment in good shape.
After using the Neff bar, Brian will stay out. Bianchi does not. He's going to come in. And remember, the rule packages allow for not a fast repair, but you can come in and get some fresh rubber. 37, 38 laps into the race. You'll be able to do the last 62 with fresh tires.
Yeah, absolutely. They got 1 set of extra tires, so definitely this is close enough to halfway. You know, ideally, I think you want to try to do it halfway if you're a driver in the back. That would be the best chance, and it gives you the best opportunity time-wise to try to get back through the field.
And let's see if the lights are on the pace car or if they've gone off. It looks like they are off, so we will not go ahead and talk to a driver. Next time, when we get a chance, I'd like to go ahead and try dial up Papa Kenny Allen. He is up several positions. Make it 6, and he's always starting on the inside, which has worked for him so far. The pace car is in. All right, last time Buckley was able to find a spot on the inside. He was able to get down in front of the younger Stout. This time, Patrick knows his lesson here, and he's going to learn. Look at the topside roll. Good momentum for Buckley. Can he pin Eric Stout down to the inside? I think he may get credited with leading this lap. He comes across the line. He does. My goodness. Granny Hips, if you can just stay out there for another 59 laps, she'll win this thing. You don't need to finish the pass. Just beat him at the line every time.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to go about it. Buckley's doing a fantastic job. He's going to have to try to get something done here because in a couple of laps he's going to lose that advantage of the grip on the outside, but he's doing exactly what he needs to, staying nice and close to Eric. If he can just get his nose out in front of Eric a little bit, that will allow Eric to see his car and in return cause Eric to pin his car closer to that yellow line on the inside and slow his momentum down. But right now Eric's figured it out. He's got it back going.
Yeah, might have been able to land a timely yellow there and steal the position that way. Now, with those 2 cars side by side, they were really slowed up. That allowed Patrick Stout and Bradley Stepp. And I'm telling you, watch out for the 89. If he can get into a good position, he's going to be a guy to reckon with. He's racing in 4th position right now, next to the rookie Ethan Mountain Troutman. Hey, how about Jeff Aho? He's all the way up in the 6th spot.
Yeah, and what a season so far for Aho, in my opinion. Compared to last season, not anything at all worth talking about. This season, he's been up front each and every race, and he's had clean races. So I look for him to be a key player at the end of the season.
Josh Buckley tries he might, cannot get down to the inside line. Finally, he's going to clear the younger Stout, tuck back into 2nd where he feels very comfortable. Okay, check in on the 49. He's coming. It's 8 spots for Papa Kenny Allen.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Soup, so you've been talking about Ken. He's been working his way through the field up 8 spots already. So there are drivers that are very smart when it comes to being able to race and know how to set up and make passes. Right now, Ken is showing exactly what you do. And the real thing that I like about him is even though he's passing people and getting to the inside, we're seeing some contact there, he's not in a hurry to make those passes. He's not doing anything crazy or aggressive. He's allowing the other drivers to kind of wear their stuff out. Now, it didn't work out this time, but watch him continued in the rest of this race. We've got 50 laps left to go. He will keep moving forward.
Yeah, he got to the inside of Flowers and then had a little bit of an issue and said, okay, we'll just sit back, what my partner just talked about, sit back, catch our breath, maybe let the tires cool off a bit, I guess, and make another run at it.
Yeah, and that's a great tactic to have, especially on short tracks. I always love when guys wanted to race me really hard because I wasn't racing hard. I was letting them use their stuff up. Ken knows that. He knows how to use that to his advantage.
Let's check back in on third position now. Here's a guy who, from what I'm looking at, is racing hard. This is Patrick Stout. He's trying his very best to get around Josh Buckley. Buckley doesn't have the pace, and I think that Stout might be thinking, my brother's driving away. I really need this position. And I don't think Bradley Steffen would mind if Patrick could get to the inside of Josh, and maybe Bradley could follow him through.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like every restart, after we've had a few laps and we've gotten single filed out, Eric has launched out to a 6 or 7/10 of a second lead easily. So he's got tons of speed. But like you said, these other drivers that are behind Buckley, I'm thinking, like you, that they're feeling like they're getting left behind a little bit. So they're going to start getting more aggressive. They are super, super tight out here, nose to tail. Eventually there's going to be some contact. And I think there may have been some bumper tag between Patrick and Josh on that last lap there.
So I was making coleslaw for the 4th of July for the family and using the garbage disposal, putting down a lot of the cabbage pieces down there. Sure enough, I clogged up the sink. Reminds me right now what Joshua Buckley is doing. My goodness, he's not a cork in the bottle. In my experience, what he is a bunch of cabbage pieces stuck down in there. And I think the man with the plunger is Patrick Stout. It was good coleslaw, by the way, JR.
I bet. And as we're riding on board with Patrick here, we can see the different lines that the drivers are taking. Some like to do that little bit of an arc into the corner, get a better exit. Some like to charge the entrance and get as low as possible, as early as possible. So there are different ways to get around here. But after we were talking about that, Buckley's been able to open up a slight gap. So I'm not so sure that Buckley, we've known in the past he's been able to be one of the best at saving his tires throughout a run. Maybe he was taking it easy, just takes care of some of that rubber.
Clearly listening to the broadcast took offense at being referred to as cabbage pieces. Buckley, though, has a train behind him. Stout, Steffen, Troutman, Aho, Hoyle, Cheshire. Let's check back in this battle with the 49 and Kenny Allen as he works on Lewis Wildflowers. In the popcorn position is always there Fred Leclerc. Leclerc sits 4th on the points, racing back a little farther than he normally would be in 11th, but they don't call him always there for nothing. Still plenty of time for Leclerc to be there.
Yeah, we're seeing a couple of side-by-side battles here. Actually got Ethan Troutman on the outside of Rex Hoyle, so Rex moving up another spot here. He's going to continue to follow Jeff Aho through the field. Aho's now up into 5th spot, and we see Tashiru having some contact there on the entrance of the corner. We stayed green, so he did a nice job of not letting that car go all the way around.
Some good battles going on, and of course you were looking at that battle back there, Hoyle and Troutman. You got a rookie against a veteran.
Oh, we almost had a big one there, Soup, up front. Patrick Stout had Bradley Steffen to the inside of him. I didn't see how it all started, but they made contact up off the corner, and Patrick was sideways. Here they go again, making more contact.
Yeah, I think Patrick may have used up his stuff, racing a little bit above his weight class right now. And there's the veteran, Bradley Steffen, who knows how to be fast at the end. Patrick's still learning the ins and outs of this series. Well, one way to get the position is to turn them. They're climbing each other. Oh, it looks like the cars were mating. But now they get through, and the caution comes out for obscene car behavior.
That was a rough one, Soup. So, yeah, there was definitely some bumper tag back and forth. And it's a short track, so eventually tempers are going to get there. I believe Patrick feels like he's far enough inside to try to take that spot. Unfortunately, he wasn't, as Bradley Steffen came back down the track, and then the Nerf bar contact from the front of Patrick into the back of Steffen kind of sent him halfway around, and then, yeah, Patrick going airborne there. And I was really, really worried about Jeff Aho for a second after talking about his good season.
Yeah, as it turns out, Aho able to skate through and now moves not only up spots, but onto the inside line.
And the other driver that's going to benefit is Ken Allen we've been talking about. He's now up 10 spots in this race.
What a performance. Mixed emotions for Mrs. Allen as her little boy, Kid Lemon Lime, Luke Logan, has had a rough day of it early on. But her man, Papa Kenny, having a run. You know, let's take this back a little. I may have wrote off the Allen family here. If I drop back a couple spots, Luke Logan is on the outside. He's up a whole bunch of spots.
Yeah, and it wasn't that long ago. He was a lap down as we're getting ready to go green, but he's back on the lead lap.
You know, they have the lucky dog. You probably picked that up. Okay, we are working now. Lap number 73. This time, Buckley has a new guy to his inside. It is Jeff Aho. Aho's going to do all he can to get in there and keep the 13 pinned out there. Passing is at a premium right now. Oh, Buckley gets a little bit loose, so that opens the door for Aho. There he is, JR.
Yeah, Aho is moving forward, and if I'm Buckley, I'm looking in my mirror, and exactly right there, he backed off on purpose to get into that hole because he saw the train that was coming behind him.
Gave up the fight, said, I'll tuck into third, tried to salvage this. Now, he gets right in front of Ethan Troutman. Oh, my goodness, the 54 is stuck on the outside, and here he comes. Kenny Allen looking for another spot. He's on the inside of the 49. My goodness, if he were to climb all the way up there, get a timely yellow, he might have something for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. He just needs a little bit of track position, and I would encourage all of these drivers to go back and kind of watch this race and specifically look at what Ken Allen is doing, because this is how you pass on a short track. The things he's doing to make that car rotate through the corner, that's what you need to do. 12 spots. And honestly, we've been covering it every time we come back to a green flag restart. The positions have been made mostly on the track. I don't think he's vultured a whole lot from attrition. Having a nice run as he's all the way up now to the top 5. Oh, and we got a big incident off turn 4. We're still green at the moment, but yeah, Rex Hoyle was on the outside, got squeezed by Lewis Flowers, it looks like. And yeah, you see right there on your screen, Rex Hoyle's right front suspension is done. Both of these drivers limping around, and I hope they are both able to make it back to pit road. You see both of their nights are going to be done. Yep.
They both come in 6 wheels on total as they get in there. Both their right fronts were severely damaged. But when they hit the wall, they bounced off and kept in a straight position, so the iRacing stewards decided, let's let them keep racing.
Yeah, I like that. So when we see Ken Allen trying to make a move on Ethan Troutman getting into the corner, there was some Nerf bar contact on corner entry there. Oh, we got a car going wild on the infield.
Allen Wanamaker letting off a little steam in the infield. Kenny Allen now up to 4th as he works his way around Troutman. Okay, this is something we've been longing to see for, well, since BGN came on board here with the Red Light Racing League. Champion on champion, and that's what we got right now. Eric Stout and Jeff Aho. Oh, no cautions. We have another spinner. Now it comes out.
Yeah, that was for Rob Higgins. He was getting turned around, and there wouldn't have been a caution, but the leaders were approaching at the same time that he was spinning the car around, so iRacing threw that flag. He got loose coming off of turn 4 here and then did everything he could not to cause contact or an accident with Patrick Stout. There was a 3-wide situation on entry there, so he did a nice job avoiding the contact, but in return got himself loose and spun around there.
All right, let's give our director a chore and see if he can hunt down Jeff Aho and see if he's able for an interview. Jeff, it's Soup up in the booth. Can you talk to us?
I hope so, if my Discord's working and everything else. What's going on?
We got you. This is what we've been waiting for here on VGN for a season and a half now. Champion on champion competition. What do you got for Stout?
Well, as luck would have it, probably just second. Josh is on the inside, though, so I can imagine I'll lose a spot to him, but I don't know. Eric's too tough.
All right. Well, you're having a great point season. If you even don't get the win, even a nice points day, very important. Good luck to you. We'll keep an eye on you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Also, JR stuck on the outside for probably the first time this race is the 49 of Kenny Allen. We'll see how he does. I think he's got Troutman inside him, behind him on the row. Good race so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Be interesting to see with Ken on the outside like you talked about there, because I feel like out of all the drivers in this field, he's probably taking care of his tires the best, even though he's been having to make some passes. So we'll see how he's able to hang out here.
It's always nice to win, but sometimes you don't need to win to have a victory. And right now, what Kenny Allen has done, that's going to be very sweet. All right, we are going to go green. They come across the line. Champion versus champion. Stout on the inside, Aho on the outside. There's a hole for Aho if he wants to duck in there. Oh, but he thinks better of it. Buckley got his nose in there, and boy, I think we might have had an issue if Aho would have ducked down inside.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw some contact back there with Fred Leclerc, but that was championship type thinking from Aho. He wanted so desperately to get down on the inside line, but he knew better not to do that. There would have been contact, so very smart driving.
Great way to turn a top 5 finish into a 17th or 18th place spot. He does still have good momentum as he tries to get around Buckley. He's got him clear. I'll spot for you. Cleared. He gets down in there. Now Buckley on the inside line. Now here comes, oh my goodness, it's Kenny Allen. He's up on top. He's got nowhere to go, but he's got Troutman pinned in behind Buckley. He's trying to make the top side work.
Yeah, and if anybody can do it tonight, it will be him. So right now that inside line's got stacked up a little bit. They have slowed their momentum down. Ken was going to go for it, I feel like, but now the opportunity to get down to the bottom is there. That's going to be his best shot to start making passes. So if he can get back in line here, you'll see him start to work over Josh.
They call him the Mountain, Ethan Troutman, but I'm afraid he is eroding right now as he is really slow. The cars behind him are both ganging up on him. Something to watch. It's Bill Benedict. We haven't heard much from the rookie. He's inside the veteran of Brian Neff. That could be exciting. Not much happening up front.
No, yeah, this is about the only, there's a couple of side-by-side battles. There's one a little bit further back, 3 wide action coming off of 4, and that almost got really dirty on corner entry, but you see Bradley Steffen trying to keep it off of the 23 Vizna on the outside. They're getting a little bit loose. These drivers, they are struggling in the closing laps with that grip.
Rob Higgins trying to find somewhere to hide his yellow number 40. He gets it down on the inside line, and I think that slowed up Benedict a little bit. He's going to lose that spot now. Finally, Neff gets the best of that. We are very close to the end. The leader will come around, get the white flag. Well, it took him 5 races to get his first win, and now he's 4 corners away from going back-to-back. We're talking about Teapot. Eric Stout, 2-time and defending champion, through 3 and 4, being chased by the season 10 champ Jeff Aho, but today it goes to Stout. Aho will get second. Josh Buckley raced up front the whole time, will get third. And when it's all said and done, Kenny Allen goes from 17th to 4th. Well done, Papa. Woo, doggy. All right, the racing is over here at Lanier, but our broadcast is not. You know the routine. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back, run down the entire finishing order before we talk to some of the drivers, and then we put a lock on the gate. Who you watching? The Virtual Grip Network, baby. Welcome back to Lanier Raceway and the Virtual Grip Network's Live as it happens. Round 6 coverage of the Skitter Creek Modified Series. You know what season is? It's season 14. Well, he wasn't able to turn the lights completely off in Georgia as he led 98 of the 100 laps as Josh Buckley was able to nip him at the line a few times. But it was pretty dark for everybody here except for the race winner, Eric Teapot Stout, as he gets that win. Jeff Aho, Season 10 champ, will come home in second. He sits third in the points. Look for those two to be 1-2 going into the next round. Joshua Buckley had a great one. Raced up front the whole time. Started third. That's where he finishes. The story of the race was Papa Kenny Allen. Started in 17th. We documented it for the whole 100 laps as he worked his way through the field. 17th to 4th for Papa Kenny. Ethan Mountain Troutman started in 5th. That's where he'll finish with Brian Neff. Got into a little trouble, but had a nice run. 16th to 6th. Bill Benedict, the rookie, is after that. Always there, Fred Leclerc. Well, he's not quite there, but he's in the conversations. He'll get an 8th place finish. Kenny Alicia behind him. And rounding out your top 10, he raced up front, right into some trouble. Bradley Steffen. JR?
Yeah, rolling off, or excuse me, coming home in 11th place tonight. Luke Logan Allen, he's the last car on the lead lap. Mike Tasheru, he'll come home in 12th place tonight. Devin Visnoff, 13th place. Bob Higgins will come home in 14th. Patrick Stout, we saw him running up front early. He comes home in 15th place. Rob Higgins, 16th place tonight. Lewis Flowers will be 17th. Rex Hoyle, 18th. Alan Wanamaker, 19th. And Brian Bianchi coming home in 20th place.
And then finally, Bradley Feeney in the blackjack spot. With that said, let's go ahead and dial up our race winner. It is Teapot, Eric Stout, as he picks up his second win in a row. Eric, you got a copy?
What's up, Suit? We got you, baby.
All right, you got to win. How fun is it to race so close to your brother?
It's fun. It's even better to lead 100 laps and really be pretty stress-free and be done at 8:40. That's what I'm fired up about. I'm also super fired up because I didn't get to talk to you last week. You guys missed a heck of a finish at Kern, and I didn't get my my soup time. So I was like, I gotta double it up here so I can talk to my man.
Yeah, we saw it, but unfortunately our director's internet company needs a little, they need a little upgrade in the management department. I got good news and bad news for you. The good news is you got the win. You're going to stretch your points lead a little bit. Bad news is, indeed, you did not go wire to wire. As that darn granny hip nicked you a couple times at the line. He just could not finish that pass on the outside.
Yeah, that was really the only time that I was nervous because, as we've seen in other races, you get a run and the caution comes at the right time, and that completely flips it. Can flip the race on its head. But I was able to clear him, and then after that, I mean, it was really kind of smooth sailing. I was pacing myself, trying to sort of hold like a half-second gap. The last like 30 laps or so, I started to stretch my legs a little bit, and then I got a little nervous when I thought it was Ethan, but I guess it was Jeff. Got up there into third on one of the restarts, and because I had been talking with Patrick, and we were trying to just be conscientious of where me and Josh and Patrick were, and who was in fourth, and who would we sort of introduce into the mix if Patrick got too spicy on one of the restarts. So we were trying to kind of manage that, and then obviously, like, Jeff's always fast, but he always runs me clean, so I wasn't worried about him doing something stupid. But yeah, overall, great night, back to back. Trying to, slowly get my fingers around another trophy. It's obviously very early, but I'm looking to be consistent and have good speed each week. And I knew that Lanier qualifying was critical, so I worked really hard at it. It really was the same formula as last season with me and AJ, except this season it was me and Patrick qualifying 1-2, and I was able to basically go wire to wire.
I know AJ's not here, but the rookies have filled the gap. I mean, Troutman looks really good. Your brother is quick. Not sure if your brother has the long distance pace yet, but he has a win. We'll see if he can get another one of those. And then some of these other guys. Is he? Okay, Flowers and Benedict look good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Ethan's super solid. Ton of respect for him. I also want to make sure I recognize my new teammate but longtime admin and friend this season, Josh, for another fantastic run. getting a good finish that he deserves. I'm sure he wanted second or even a chance to, put the bumper to me and get a win. But happy for him running up front all night and really pretty unbothered. Feel bad for Patrick. He had a little mix up there. I don't know if he lost his wits about him or what happened, but he'll bounce back. Yeah, I was telling him, my first couple seasons in red light, I was struggling, just to finish races and fighting for 15th place, and now obviously competing for wins and winning championships. So it'll come. Just gotta be patient and I'll remind him this week that it's all about maximizing or optimizing the night, right? And you can't kind of give it away in big chunks, which getting too upset maybe about losing one position can do to you.
You got it. Always a pleasure to talk to you. We'll see you next week in Little Myrtle Beach. Good luck.
Thanks, Soup. See ya.
All right, there's your race winner, point leader, Eric Teapot Stout. Partner, who you got?
All right, I'm here with Jeff Aho. Jeff, congratulations on that second place run, man. I know there was a lot happening on the track, and I want to take you back to a moment when a caution came out. We saw Patrick Stout go flying in the air, and I had just talked about you on the air and the good season you were having, and then there you were about to get killed by Patrick. Tell us how close that moment was from your seat.
Well, I'll tell you, I was thinking the exact same thing because I saw the two cars get into it, and I thought, man, this is a good season I'm having, and now it's not going to go so well. And I went just on the outside like Days of Thunder and drove right through it, and I got hit from behind, and I came out unscathed, so I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was worried for you. I thought for sure that was going to end your night, but again, having a great season. This is race 6. You've been in the top 5, top 10 in most of those races. Moving forward, I know it's going to be tough. You talked about it a little bit on the broadcast when we interviewed you, how tough Eric is going to be. But if you can keep this kind of consistency up, do you think you've got something toward the end of the season?
I think so. I think it comes down to qualifying. Like Eric had mentioned last race, I always think I'm going to win every single race. It's just a matter of me getting there. I think I have the stuff. It's not panning out, but that's the mindset I have. It's just a matter of qualifying well, staying up with Eric, and then figuring how to get past Eric.
Absolutely. He's definitely been tough. He shows small signs of vulnerability, I think, once in a while, but if you stay with it all season long, the little things can pay off for sure. Want to ask you about next week. You guys go to Myrtle Beach. Got 100 laps there. I think the passing is going to be a little bit similar. It's a little easier than here, but a little similar to how you would make passes here. What do you think you got for them next week?
I unfortunately cannot make the race next week, so I'm sorry
okay.
I cannot comment on that. I'm going to be on vacation. But while I have the time, I have to say hello to Chad, who's out there. He's at home taking care of family matters, so I want to wish him and his family the best of luck. I wish you well, buddy, and I'll see you in a few weeks. But yeah, Myrtle Beach I'm going to miss, unfortunately, but I will return the following week after that.
I got you, man. Well, I'm going to go ahead and ask you, since you're not there next week, what are your thoughts on the following track, going to Slinger? That's a little new one on the service. I mean, it's been there for a little while, but have any experience there?
I'm predicting 12X, maybe 16. Slingers, I don't know. I could go without it. I mean, if we get spread out enough, which never really happens, I think I can do well there. I've got the rhythm down at that track. But again, I don't know. Slinger is just difficult. You're going to crank off the wall, or you'll be down the bottom and somebody else takes the wall down and you get collected. So you just got to stay out of trouble is the whole goal at Slinger and survive.
That's it, man. Yeah, that's the best plan to go there. If you do that, you'll be all right. But hey, Jeff, congratulations on a second place run here tonight. Know you'll miss next week, but look forward to talking to you more this season.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good evening.
All right, guys, that was Jeff Aho, our second place finisher. Soup, who do you have now?
I have series organizer Josh Buckley. We're going to call him up here as he finished third tonight. Josh, you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Josh, I've been doing sim race commentating for a long time, and usually after doing a series for a season and now 5 or 6 races, I get a good idea of what the drivers are, who they are, how they perform. I'll be honest with you, I have no clue about you. Here's your results so far this season. third, fourth, and fourth. All right, there's a guy who's going to race up front, but then you couple that with the 16th, the 13th, and the 15th. Who are you? Are you? I don't get it.
Wrong place, wrong time is basically what those bad finishes were. But
okay.
Yeah.
You think you seem to be way more competitive than you did in the first season that we covered? Is this practice time, or is you just getting lucky and we're seeing the real results here with those top 5 finishes?
Oh, it's definitely the practice time, putting it in with my teammates this season with Eric and Patrick, and just practicing a lot more than I did from everything from qualifying runs, which wasn't something I really did before, to just long runs and just figure out everything about the car before we get to the race. So.
Oh, qualifying so important, especially on a track like this. It was hard to pick up positions. Well, you were a timely yellow flag away from getting the lead. Did you realize that you led a couple laps there? You were ahead of Stout twice.
Yeah, that restart on the outside, I thought if I got another chance with another restart that I would be able to do something, but the tires wore just a little too much to be able to do it. But it was nice to lead a couple laps at least.
Was there a moment when you were battling for second there when Aho got underneath you? We both thought in the booth that you just said, okay, surrender this spot and tuck in before this gets worse. Was that your thinking, tuck into third?
Yeah, pretty much at that point. I saw that there was a chance of getting in. I didn't want to get freight trained, because if you got left on the outside, there was plenty of people in chat saying that if you got stuck on that outside for too long, you were going back. So it looked like there was a gap, so I was just tap the brake a little bit and just get in line.
Well, it was a good performance. Well done. Another top 5 finish for you. Actually, your best results so far this season. Well done. First podium. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you again real soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Jeff, Granny Hips Buckley. Josh, Granny Hips Buckley, your third place finisher tonight. All right, with that said, we are done here. We're going to put up a graphic right now which will tell you when we're doing it again. Really, the only thing you really need to look at is to see who's on Wakey VGN, and I don't see it. Do we have a Wakey VGN? Courtney Nelson. Don't know much about Courtney. That'll be good. You want to tune into that? That's going to be dropping on Tuesday of next week. Don't want to miss it. It's a really good show. John Hine is the host, and he does a great job. With that said, all those broadcasts and the 2 points passwords are all of the So until next time, have fun storming the castle.